Yeah, do your thing, Super. Do your thing.
That's where you reign supreme, ho. That's where you reign supreme, ho.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One, two, three until the four.
Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. Work. Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. Work.
One, two, three until the four.
She thinks of herself as a something ass motherfucking bitch. Bitch. Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. Work. Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. Work. Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. Something ass, something ass, something ass, bitch. You got to be it. You got to be it. She thinks of herself as a double ass motherfucking bitch. Bitch!
Hey, hey, hey. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising family. Super Gem was in the building first. Hi, Super. Oh, he's answering the. Oh. Yes, family. Is Tucker Carlson a treasonous traitor? Super Gem said, of course he's not. But Tim Goodwin is. Ba-dum-bum. What's up, Dookie? Hey, baby. Hey, LaKendra. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, baby. Let me rinse y'all up. Anyways, Grand Rising, I'm going to discuss a little bit of what's going on in the podcaster world. Y'all know I love me some good podcaster drama. And I'm talking about the professional podcasters, the people who lost their jobs at syndicated mainstream media, people like Tucker Carlson, people like Megyn Kelly. Candace, I don't think was quite mainstream media per se, but she was well known in the political debate conversations. She was known. Hold on, I have to. How do I do this? Okay, channel activity. Let me mod you up, mama. Hey, mama. Add as a moderator. Thank you. All right, come on in. And Dookie Badass, where you at? Let me salute you up. Okay, Dookie, let me get you. But before I get into the drama of the podcast world, I want to talk a little bit about the drama that popped off with like the beef sector / I don't know if it was black sector. It kind of was. But y'all know last time I was over here, we did a 7-hour show. Godmama made her debut appearance. She will be coming back, family. Ooh, motherfucking we. We had and Peeper up here. So we talked a lot that night. So I haven't really caught up with y'all in a second. Hold on, Dookie. Y'all, I don't like the way this new YouTube, but I got you. Hold on. I have to do channel activity in order to do it. How does moderate? Okay, y'all are modded up. There you go. I got you, baby. I got you, baby. Hit that down like. Okay, so, but before all that, y'all, Lemon went and apologized to VS. After I sat up here and was like, yo, stand up. I agreed with China White. Like, why would you apologize? She's already done this much damage. What's an apology going to do? What does he do that night, family? He took his goofy, not that he was listening to me or I was, I was tuned in or anything. But he took his goofy ass self right over to BS. He fucking apologized. And what is the first? She said, kicked him down. She said, now get off. You my bitch. Now you my bitch is what she said. So now ZX is running around calling Lemon VS's bitch every chance he gets. Listen, they're over there doing the most. I don't know what is going on. I don't. Here, get this shit off my screen. What I had to pop up. Hold on. I don't know what the hell is going on, but Lemon has court today, family. So he's got a live schedule at 3 p.m. He picked out a green goofy outfit, something from Temu. Hi, Super. Hit the down like. And he has court today. So that's what the beef sector / black sector is looking out for. Super, I heard you was over there on Lemons yesterday too. Speaking of the black sector crashing and commingling with the beef sector. I went back and listened to some of it. I haven't finished it, but I heard you and ZX was going. Ciao. Oh, my gosh. You see the poll? Yo, Gem, I did see it. I left. I don't know what is going on. I did go in there, Jim. And then hold on, family. Let me upload this because this was so funny yesterday. Before we get into Tucker Carlson, I'm talking about the shit that popped off that I saw yesterday. Jem was over on Lemon's panel getting jiggy with the mayor and getting jiggy with ZX. But Jim, I have a question for you. Why do you know how embarrassing it is sometimes? They're like, oh, Jim, he's from the black sector. He's old school, blah, blah, blah. And he get up there talking about ZX owes me head from years ago. Oh my gosh. And you're in the gay sector. And I was just looking at the comments and they were like, wait, huh? What? And you're like, yeah, ZX owes me head. And it's like, why do you do things like that? You are such a menace. A menace to society is what you are, Jem. I could not. I said, Lord, here we go. Here we go. Let me make a paste. I'm going to expose. Oh, let me make a post. Okay, do what you do. I didn't even see it because I was working, but once I got. There's no apologies happening, LaKendra. There's no apologies. She did a 10-part expose or something. First, it was supposed to be 3-part. In the midst of her 1 part, she said, no, I'm going to have to do a 4-part. In the midst of her, it was supposed to go to 4-part. Then she's like, no, I think I'm going to go ahead and do 5. I'm going to do 5. So she kept upping the fucking ante. Okay. She kept, upping the ante of like, oh no, we're going to take this a step further. Listen, I said yesterday to myself, I said, she done called housing. She done called CPS. She done called the courthouse. She done called the Humane Society all in one day, all in less than 5. Well, I don't know if it was all in one day, but all in 1 week. All in 1 week. And all of the phone calls, you put them together, it was less than 2 hours. I mean, what the hell? And he gets up there talking about, I apologize. Can you give me, no, Jim, don't start including me with your drama with them. No. I don't even know if I'm sub to mayor on this N.A.B channel, to be honest. But I don't do that. I don't know his page name. If anybody else in the chat knows his name and wants to participate, that's between y'all. Y'all know, don't get me all up in y'all shit. So yes, LaKendra, I mean, it's just like, and then you go on her panel, apologize. She call you a straight bitch, drop you down, don't say nothing, don't laugh, don't do nothing, and go back to doing her part 8 and part 9. I said, child, ain't this something? But whatever, that's Lemon. That's his life. He said that if you guys are in his area and you want to show up to court, he said he will be signing autographs and taking pictures with his fans. So, yeah. Anywho, moving forward with that. Also, yesterday I caught this, and let me pull up the video. Speaking of True Freeman, I guess he missed this live, but I didn't. So let me pull it up. Let me share the screen. Oh, wait, I have to get YouTube up. Hold on. Let me go to YouTube first. I've got a bunch of tabs open today because I had to do a little bit of research on this whole treason and Tucker and Iran, Israel. I mean, I really wanted to go really deep and start pulling up some of the interviews that Tucker has done, but I'm not going to go that far today, family. Absolutely not. Okay, so yesterday also while I was lurking and just enjoying my Sunday, I saw that Boss Man Vlogs went live. And I guess True missed it, but I got 35 seconds of it. So let's watch the 35 seconds of what I captured. Okay, family? Okay.
I know, True. I apologize, True. I just want to say I apologize. You ain't got to apologize. Night Stalker, stop apologizing. I know. I understand. I understand. I'm just sorry. Stop apologizing. I'm sorry. You still apologize.
I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, I was in the bushes watching Boss Man. I thought for sure True Freeman was going to pull up, hit the link. We was going to get some content between the two, but I guess not. So True said he missed it, but he over there doing some weirdo polls. Y'all, let me give this right here. True Freeman knows for a fact. Oh, there's my cat. Hold on. True Freeman knows for a fact that I don't get down with some dirty When y'all get to beefing back and forth and y'all slinging mud, I don't do all that. And I damn sure don't appreciate anybody talking about no fucking kids. So when I show up to True Freeman's live stream today, the poll in the chat was something like, do you think Boss Man's attracted to his wife's daughter? Or something weird like that. I said, let me go ahead and get the fuck from around here. And the conversation they were talking about children's teeth growing in weird. I'm not going to entertain none of that shit. I'm not going to entertain none of that shit. I don't care. Me and True don't got to agree. I don't give a damn. That shit right there will never rock the fuck over here. So if you want to go do your shit over there, I said, let me fire up my own live. I got shit to do. What did Kendra say? Hold on. Hold on. I'll get to you in a minute, Jim. I finally seen that old video. Dude wasn't on the porch more than 3 seconds. The games people play. You talking about when Super Saiyan Jim went over to ZX's and threw a package or threw something? Okay, and then Jim said it's fake news. You need to ignore it. What, the whole treasonous thing? No, baby, I'm not going to ignore it. I'm going to dive deep on it, and that's exactly what I did. That's what I'm going to do. Hello, no good chaos. I see I don't know you. You don't get a wrench. You don't have to be around. I don't know you like that. I don't believe in bothering children. They're innocent. Exactly, LaKendra. And it's weird. And it is perverted. It is perverted. It was a no-go. It was a no-go for me. But anyways, moving on. That's the content I did see. And I did that little impression that Boss Man did of True and Night Stalker was fun. See, I did get a giggle out of that. I said, child, let me clip this. This is fucking funny. Okay. Hello. But let's get into it, family. Besides all that, that's what I've seen going on. Lemon got court today. He's doing see, this is the time Shot Cam should have, you know what I'm saying? Went and got his interview, went and got his outside court thing. That was a mess last time. But now Lemon has embraced it. Lemon is VS's bitch. Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of weirdos, Ken Nola, he was on Lemon's panel. Lemon closed that down, so I wasn't able to clip it. Hi, Love Stone. Hi, my lovey. Hit the down like. Okay, baby. It's good to see you. Yeah, I left you a message. I saw you didn't get it right away when I sent it, but I've been missing you, Love Stone. I love you. Good to see you. Hey, mama. Hit the down like. Tyra been talking kids for a while. Listen, I don't entertain it. I don't. And I don't entertain it. Absolutely not. Moving right along. What was I talking about, though? Oh, Ken Nola. So Ken Nola is like beefing, like Ken Nola, Lemon, this guy named Audio. They're all kind of like beefing over some chick named Mia. And it's just a bunch of, they were all pillow talking to the same bitch and whatever. Anyways, Lemon was promoting her to get 1K. She got her 1K and went live and shut it down on these niggas. Then she blocked Lemon, and then she's not talking to Ken, and now she's not talking to Audio and all this other stuff. Anywho, Ken and Audio are fighting on Lemon's panel, going back and forth. And here come Ken Nola talking about, and I'll do X, Y, and Z with your baby sister or with your sister. And Audio's like, my sister's 11 years old. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I said what the fuck I said, and I'll do it with no condom on. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you people? Not the people in my chat, not us. What is wrong with some of these people? Hi, Prom. What's up, Prometheus? Hi, baby. What is wrong with some of these people? And then they're like finding it as entertainment. Then Leak You, if y'all know about anything about Ken Nola and his past, Leak You pops back out and she's like, let me reintroduce y'all to who Ken is. And he's been this way a long time, blah, blah, blah. So now Ken's history is coming back out. So I did catch that as well, but I don't have a clip for it because Lemon had to put that shit on private. And I will say this in defense of Lemon. He did drop Ken and he did go the fuck off on Ken and was like, don't be coming over here doing all that on my fucking panel, X, Y, and Z. So I will give that to Lemon. I'm not sure if Ken's been back on his panel since, but I did see that Ken Nola last night on his community wall tagged Audio and apologized for saying those things. But to me, it's like, why are you apologizing? You're not apologizing because once you were corrected with her age, you literally said you didn't give a fuck. But I have my thoughts and opinion about Kim, but I'm not here for all that, family. Anyways, all right, y'all. That's my little I guess my little rising recap for y'all. Okay. Is Ken from the Nature Boy sector? I don't recall him being from the Nature Boy sector. If he was, he wasn't in my neck of the woods of the Nature Boy sector at all. So I do not believe so. Hi, landlord. Hi, lovey. Grand rising, my love. Hi. Come hit the down like. And I did speak to you, Prometheus. Hello. I'm not why people are so shocked at Ken. He been known to say stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but he'll go and apologize, Prometheus, and then it will kind of be like, oh, okay, well, Ken was in the heat of the moment. And then some people will even say, well, you can't tell me how to respond. You can't tell me how to fight back. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. It's like, okay. You're right. I can't tell you, but I don't have to fuck with you, give you a view, subscribe to your bullshit. Anytime you hit a panel, I can leave the room. I do not entertain that fuckery. Okay? Come over here, landlord. Come get your... Where are y'all coming from? Did somebody share my live out? Somebody must have shared my live out. Or y'all must be coming from the 7-hour live I did and I didn't mod y'all up then. That's what it is. I think. Okay, well, there you go, baby. Here y'all go. Okay, but moving right along, y'all. We're going to address my title. Is Tucker Carlson a treasonous traitor? And again, the only reason why I'm concerned about this right now is because he's in the podcasting world. He's not really a podcaster per se, but he is, I guess. He's a journalist who was fired from Fox News and had to go to YouTube and had to go to Twitter and had to go to, hold on, my neighbor just texted me. Oh, okay, cool. She's with it. So and then I had to look up like what even is treason. And I was talking to Godmama about it. I was like, what is even going on? What is treason? And like, because if y'all remember back in the day when we were like not that you should remember, but if you studied U.S. history and how we became a country, like treason was thrown around a lot when we were breaking off into our little colonies and we were, fighting away and getting our independence. Like treason was a huge fucking deal. People were getting hung for it. People were getting beheaded for it. Treason is just, you know what I mean? And it says, if you look up the U.S. Constitution like I did myself, it says you only need like 2 witnesses and bada bing, bada boom. I don't know. Yes, Ken was at Lemon's last night. Wow. So Ken was back at Lemon's after Lemon kicked him off the panel. Okay. Well, we're moving forward from that. But thank you, Beef Fakers, for letting us know. Thank you. Please hit the down like while you're here. You guys, I do not do thumbs up because I don't need to be all up in people's algorithm like that. I'm not trying to get hemmed up for treason. Okay? I'm not trying to get hemmed up. So please hit the down like. Thank you. And I do check my analytics, and I do get irritated sometimes when I see y'all have overliked instead of downliked. But moving right along. Let's get to Tucker Carlson. Let me open up the boards, family. Let me open up my boards. And I will drop the link because you guys are welcome to come up. Let me share my link because I know Godmama is going to come up eventually. But you guys are welcome to come up while we kind of go over this. And if I have any informed subscribers, anybody that's not even a subscriber, anybody that's just informed passing by through the chat, and you can correct me on some of the things that I'm reading and trying to make sense of, feel free to do so. Okay? Feel free to do so. Because I'm learning as I go. I had to go back. I'm like, treason. I started thinking, me and Godmama, she had said something about like Edward Snowden. And I'm like, well, he didn't get hemmed up with treason. And neither did Julian Assange. They're getting hit with espionage. With the Espionage Act. So treason is something totally different. And then we even went back and looked up like, we did some researching, family. I'll just say that much. Okay, let's share this. Let me share my screen with you guys. First, let's go to what even drew this across my screen. Tucker Carlson came out and said, it was on the 14th right here, basically that the CIA
revealed a lot, including by
that the CIA has hacked his the CIA has been reading his text messages in order to frame him for a crime. So let's see in his own words, and then we'll break down some other videos and some other stuff. Let's get this party started, family.
The other day, I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living, and I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel, and they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021, when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way. And they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me. So I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true, and you should know what your own government is doing, and you should know what the stakes are. And you should know that a lot of what happens in this country that affects outcomes happens behind the scenes. Some of it is legal, some of it is not, including what I'm describing now. But it has an effect. And the intel agencies, again, not everyone in the intel agencies, because there are decent, hardworking Americans who work in the intel agencies are Americans, just like there are decent, hardworking Americans who work at the DMV. But there are also people with agendas and grudges and no sense of restraint who are happy to misuse the power they have granted them by our elaborate secrecy laws to hurt fellow Americans for ideological reasons. That is entirely real. That's the story of Russiagate. And it's likely that things like that will begin to happen at greater scale now. So you should just know that going forward. Thanks.
Let me take myself off mute. Ooh-wee. Okay, I played that in its entirety without me giving any commentary because I just wanted Tucker to be heard. And like he said at the beginning, he has no allegiance to any other country but America. So I want to share this because he brought up the FARA, right, which is a law that was introduced in 1938. But let's look. Let me read. I'm just going to share this real quick. Let me share this screen with you guys real quick instead, so we can even look at this because I don't consider myself a journalist per se. However, I do like to investigate some things, right? So, and if I don't agree with what American politicians are pushing for, then I should have the right to investigate that. And if that includes war, or if that includes quote unquote foreign affairs, I should be able to investigate that. And hold on, Godmama said in the chat before I read this with you guys, Godmama said, she quoted him, "I'm an American. I can talk to anybody." Well, under our legal statutes, as long as the country is willing to do so, as far as even Putin from Russia, then under American law, he's allowed to do so. But what is the FARA Act, family? Where did it come from? It is a Congress enacted the Foreign Agents Registration Act in 1938 amid concerns about foreign propaganda campaigns in the United States leading up to World War II. The law does not prohibit Americans from communicating with foreign officials or organizations. Instead, it requires individuals who represent foreign governments or political entities in the United States to publicly disclose those relationships and activities. Bada bing, bada boom, family. Okay? So I just wanted to read what the FARA, F-A-R-A, was. Foreign Agency Registration Act. That's not what treason falls under, but they're saying that's what basically he should do, that he needs to go registrate himself. He needs to try, but he's not acting under foreign policy. He's acting on on his citizens' rights. That's what he's acting on his citizens' rights. So to call him treasonous is interesting because treason is the crime of betraying one's country, specifically by attempting to overthrow the government, waging war against the state, or aiding its enemies. Okay? They caught him talking to one of the mullahs over there. Let's get into it, family. I'm gonna wake this up. Hold on. What a Beef Sector says. And then Prometheus for you before I get to you, Beef Sector. Not invasion of privacy. Google products tell you in the fine print that your info may be shared, doesn't it? Correct. But does he have an iPhone? Is he using Google to text? Because he said it was reading his text messages. It didn't say emails. It said his text messages. So is that in the fine print? Because I know that Apple has been known to hold it down for encrypted messages time and time again. And considering I'm not a Tucker fan. I think I'm subscribed, or I follow him on Twitter, but I don't know if I'm subscribed to him on YouTube. But I'll catch him here and there depending on who he's interviewing. When he interviewed Senator Cruz, of course, I was all up in that. Okay, that was a hoot and a holler. Thank you, Tucker, for exposing our senator. Listen, he interviewed Putin, and that was a flex. I sat and watched that interview. So no, I'm not mad at Tucker, but I can't say I'm like, I'm not a, I don't consider myself a fan, I guess. I'll just watch some interviews when he puts them out that I'm interested in. Invasion of privacy, Prometheus, I'm not sure, babe. I don't know. This isn't new revelation to the American people, but he is presenting it as it is. That makes me feel that he's worried about something he may have possibly done, not necessarily purposely. Beef fakers. Oh, I'm calling you beef sector. I'm sorry. Beef fakers. Very good. I'm gonna get to that as well. Abso-freaking-lutely. I agree with you on that. Let me star this. I'm gonna star your comment. You get a star. They caught him talking to one of the Mulan over there. Possibly. Well, he said he was going to, though. Tucker said he was going to, and we're going to pull up the timeline, family. We're going to pull up the timeline. I'm not going to be here all rising because I've got stuff to do, but I am going to be here for a hot second to kind of pull up a timeline, and then I encourage you guys to dig deeper and do your own, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. When I started looking up espionage, the FARA, when I started looking up treason, when I started like really getting jiggy into this, I was like, beef faker. I'm like, wait, this isn't new. Hold on now. I'm like, hold on. This isn't, I had to refresh myself. But in a day and age where we are losing recipes, and I'm using that metaphor loosely, because some of your grandmamas didn't have a recipe to save their life. But again, it's a metaphor I'm using. It looks like we're losing recipes in certain ways. So people are forgetting, people aren't being educated, people aren't being taught, people don't know. Ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is leading you to the slaughterhouse. Okay. LaKendra came in and said, depending on the conversations, it can be looked at like treason. But treason, hold on, family. I didn't pull it up. Let me pull it up for us, family, so I can put it on the big board. And I'm on this laptop, so unfortunately, it's Yahoo that I'm looking up on, but on my phone, I have it looked up over here. Treason, the crime of betraying. I'm not sharing the screen, so you can't see it. I'm sorry. Let me rock with it, share with it. Right here. Thank you. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Interviewing people. Let's do the Constitution, because the Constitution gets jiggy with that. Article 3, like, we don't even want that. Why can't, do I just have to pull up the Constitution? I guess so. Okay, well, anyways, basically it says here, I have it here. And I think it's Article 18. I'm not sure when they put it in. Is it 18? It is. U.S. Constitution. Whoever owning allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death or imprisoned and fined, and incapable of holding any U.S. office. Okay? That's what the U.S. Constitution declares as treason. Okay? Whoever owning allegiance to the United States. I'm assuming that means being a citizen. If you pledge of allegiance to the flag. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies. So why are we throwing this at Tucker? I don't know. Giving them aid and comfort. Giving them aid. It doesn't say giving. Well, I don't think they had the word intel back then. Giving them aid. Could that include intel? I guess so. But to me, aid is giving them like supporting Gaza, right? And Tucker was a big supporter of Gaza. Was that treason, funding aid to them? Or do we have to be, let me ask this. And Prometheus, you might know this. Let me ask this. Do you have to be at real-time war for treason to be taking place, or can the country be dormant or lame or not at war and still be convicted of treason? Because is it just your enemies? And when did Iran become our quote-unquote enemy? Or is it Israel's enemy? Why would we beef with Iran? Or is it Israel's? Okay. Now let me get with this. Hold on, Prometheus. Let me get with you in the chat, baby. Hold on. I'm sorry, I was looking up at my phone. Prometheus is saying in the late 50s, the Rosenbergs were excluded from providing information to the Soviets. Okay. Yes, excluded. Okay, so do we have to be at actual war for treason to take place? I don't know. I haven't even Googled that. I haven't even asked that question. I guess I could. Do we have to be in active war for treason to take place? It says no. No. Oh my goodness. Only in levying war against that. No, the United States does not have to be in a formally declared war for treason to occur. So, family, if I donated to Gaza, have I provided treason? Oh, wait, I should have scrolled down. Y'all down here getting it. Hey, Neptunes. Hi, baby. Exactly. You're giving him a voice when freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't, Lakendra. Hi, Neppy. Hi, Love Bud. Hit the down. We weren't at war with the Soviet when they excluded. So, no, it says no. So, that is concerning. Huh. Okay, let's move right along. I'll dive deeper. Okay, so back to Tucker. Let me share the screen with y'all. Let's get back over here to Tucker. And, well, before I share the screen, hold on. I went over and pulled up a couple timelines. Let me just shout them out real quick. I went and looked up the visits of Tucker showing up to the White House. He was there in January, family. And then he so in January, he made multiple visits to the White House. It caused some disturbance with the MAGA people, basically. JD Vance wasn't too happy about it, and neither was the Marco Rubio guy. They weren't happy about it. Of course not. So I'm just giving a quick timeline, and I'm only doing 2026. I'm not doing 2025 because in 2025, Tucker was in Gaza. Tucker took quite a few trips, but for 2026 in January, he was at the White House. February, he was beefing online with this guy here, Huckabee, right? Let me share my screen here with you guys. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's read this little article that comes up. Tucker Carlson visits Israel for a sit-down with Huckabee. He wouldn't leave the airport, is what Huckabee says. I won't give my 2 cents on that quite a bit, but basically they were going back in February. They were going back and forth on Twitter. Tucker Carlson had done, let's pull it up. Tucker Carlson had done what he always does. He did a little show, and he took himself over to, where was he? He was out in Jordan, I think. But let's listen to this first 5 minutes, and then you can understand why Tucker is absolutely not committing treason. Again, he's speaking up for Christians, which I thought that's what our country was based on. He's speaking up for, I won't speak for what Tucker Carlson is speaking for. He can speak for himself. But this is so January, he was at the White House multiple times. MAGA was up in arms. February, he drops this cute little, it's only an hour and 27 minutes, family. We're only going to watch the first 5 minutes and let Tucker tell us what he was doing there. And then I'll get back to the Huckabee Israel situation. I just want to have it set up like this so you know that the timeline is real and what Tucker Carlson was on.
Good evening. From where I'm standing right now, I can see all around me in a ring 7 Christian churches. We're not going to pan to see them. You can see one behind me, but they're all on the ridges of this valley around me. We are about 100 yards from the River Jordan and about 150 yards from the spot where Jesus, the Christian Savior, God on earth, was baptized by John the Baptist, famously the beginning of his ministry and the beginning, really, of the gospel. John the Baptist lived famously in the wilderness, eating locusts and honey. That was right here. We are in the Holy Land, but on the political map, we're in an overwhelmingly Muslim country, a monarchy called Jordan. And that's significant, particularly now, because the question of how Christians are treated in the Holy Land is a political question. And it is because much of what happens in this region is funded by the United States, by its taxpayers, military action, but also the cultural and religious life of the region is funded to a great extent by American Christian churches. And so the question that we've asked for some time now is, what's the outcome? How are Christians in the Holy Land doing? Are they thriving or are they suffering? And the truth has become pretty obvious over the past couple of years, which is in Israel, they are not thriving. Their numbers are not growing. They are shrinking. And there's a huge debate about why. But the bottom line is there are fewer Christians now, far fewer in absolute numbers, and particularly as percentage of population than there were when the state was founded in 1948. And there's a lot of evidence in the last couple of years, particularly since the Gaza war started, and the whole tone of the conversation in this area has changed quite a bit, and the rise of extremism, very noticeable, that those numbers have gotten even smaller. And in Jerusalem, if you follow this at all on the internet, you see video clip after video clip of Christian clergy being spit at by religious extremists, not Muslim religious extremists, but Jewish religious extremists. And that's something most Americans didn't know happened, didn't think could happen, particularly since the United States, the most important Christian country in the world, is funding this. And anyone who's raised this question, this show has done that, has been dismissed out of hand as a liar or an anti-Semite or, best of all, a secret jihadi, a secret Muslim. You must be a Muslim. And so we thought it'd be worth coming here to find out what the truth is, or at least getting closer to the truth being pretty elusive usually in political terms, but why not go ahead and talk to people? Why not?
So far, and I don't know, I thought to ask this question earlier before I started this, but I'll ask it later. But so far it sounds like he's keeping it pretty kosher. Sounds like he's on some investigative journalism. And it sounds like people like me, these are questions I have, and it sounds like I'm about to get some answers. Now, do I have to take Tucker Carlson as the Bible itself? No, this is just one journalist putting out a story. That's all I'm receiving so far, family. I don't know. But this caused some issues for some people, and we'll get to that. I'm going to, like I said, play out till 5-minute mark-ish. Yeah.
Go ahead and talk to Christians and find out their side of the story. Why aren't Christian churches doing this? Why aren't American Christian leaders like Mike Huckabee or Ted Cruz, people who invoke the Christian Bible to justify what they're doing? Why haven't they done this? We can only guess, but they haven't. They have funded the other side. So we thought, let's talk to them. So we are about to play interviews that we just did about 5 minutes ago with 2 Christians from this area. One was born in Israel. One was born in Jordan. The one born in Israel was born, in fact, in Jesus' hometown of Nazareth. His father was literally a carpenter, which is kind of hilarious. He is now the Anglican Archbishop of Jerusalem, which is to say he's the representative of the Anglican Church, the global Anglican Church in Jerusalem. Whatever you think of the Anglican Church, it's not a small thing, and this is a very well-informed person, and you can judge for yourself whether he's telling the truth or not. Our view is he absolutely is telling the truth. And the story that he's going to tell you in just a minute is pretty shocking if you're a Western Christian, because it's a story of Christians being oppressed in Jerusalem by a government that American Christians pay for. And the second person we're going to speak to is a businessman who runs a bank here in Jordan from a very prominent Christian family. And if you're an American, you may be surprised to learn that in Jordan, a country that is probably 97% Muslim, Christians who've been here for, of course, 2,000 years are disproportionately represented at the higher end of the economy, which is to say there's a large number of Christian families who are hugely successful in Jordan and have been for a long time, since the creation of the state about 100 years ago. That's not something you're going to see on CNN. How would Christians thrive in a Muslim country? We're not experts on this, of course, being not that well versed in Islam, but we thought it'd be worth talking to a sincere Christian whose family's been here for 2,000 years and ask, how did that happen? And what does it tell us about our understanding of what's actually happening in the Holy Land, in Jordan, the West Bank, and Israel, which again is right there. We are 25 miles from Jerusalem.
Okay, I'm gonna let that end off there. CIA, he better be worried, honey. Okay, so you guys can go watch your for yourselves. I'll be kind and put this in the chat for you guys. Oh, did I already close it? Oops, I can reopen it. Hold on. I will be kind and share this in the chat with you guys. Give me 1 second to find. Okay, here. Let me copy this and put it in the chat. And you guys can go watch all of this on your own. Here you go. And you guys can go watch. So that's what Tucker, let me get back to my timeline. January, multiple visits to Washington with Trump. February, he flies out to Jordan. I don't know if he flew out to Jordan in February, but in February is when he released these interviews, right? This segment, this piece. And this was February 4th, I believe. Yes, this was February 4th on 2026. So then Huckabee responds, family. Let's go back over here where he called him out. You know, he's like, hey, because Huckabee's the ambassador over there, right? Governor Mike Huckabee, he's an ambassador. He's some pro-Israeli he's a loyalist. I'm just going to start calling people what they are. They are loyalists. He is the ambassador to Israel since 2025. He's the former governor from 96 to 2007. He plays the bass guitar. He's a papa to 7 cute grandkids in the world. He's an author of 14 books. Okay. Huckabee. He's been around for a long time. If you know, you know. But he is the presidential pick appointed by to be. So he is the ambassador over there in Israel. So what does Mike Huckabee do? He says, well, why don't you come over here? Why don't you come over here, Tucker? So Tucker takes his goofy ass over there. And then here is this, family. I'll just quickly read through this. It says here, the interview came after public payback. Oh, let me share the screen because I know you guys like to read along. Hold on. Here we go. This is just a quick recap. Again, these are things you guys can go look up for yourselves and research. This is just a quick trim off the top. The interview came after public back and forth between Carlson and Ambassador Huckabee and was conducted inside Ben Gurion Airport Complex, sources told the Jerusalem Post. I wonder who runs the Jerusalem Post. Conservative media personality Tucker Carlson visited Israel briefly on Wednesday for a film sit-down with U.S. Ambassador and focused on claims about the treatment of Christians in Israel and the wider region. According to the sources, Carlson conducted the conversation inside the airport and did not travel beyond the airport complex. He departed Israel at around 3 p.m. ending a trip that lasted only a few hours. Okay. Let me scroll through. Huckabee responded, tense moment. The sit down comes at a tense moment in American conservative politics where support for Israel has become a sharper internal argument than in the past years. Carlson has increasingly positioned himself as a leading critic of U.S. policy toward Israel and of Christian Zionism. Christian Zionism? No, the fuck they didn't. So now Tucker's a Christian Zionist? Are you kidding me? Do people even know what Zionism means? How can Tucker be a Christian Zionism? Zionism is specific to Judaism. What is going on? Oh, they suspended my stream? Is it still live? Let me see. Oh, they took it down when I was playing Tucker? Oh, I'm sorry, family. I'm sorry. I probably should have done more. Let me close this out. Let me come look. Am I back? Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. No, I didn't know that they suspended my stream. I'm sorry. Well, fuck it then. Let's go. Let's switch gears then. Let's really wake it up. But it's because I was playing Tucker Carlson and he's a paywall, so I'm not mad if it was because of that. It was only for a couple of seconds. Oh wow. Oh, the YouTube AI found my channel. I told y'all to hit the down like, didn't I? Oh, maybe you got look 12 up likes. Oh my gosh. Maybe if you guys hit the down like, AI wouldn't pick up on my shit. But it's all good. We're here. It's fine. We're back. Okay, I see. Okay. Well, whatever. We're back. So I forgot what I was even saying, but oh yeah, we were talking about Christian Zionism. Like Zionism didn't come. Y'all better calm down. Anyways, language that has drawn pushback from mainstream Republicans, and pro-Israel conservatives. Why do we care about mainstream anything right now? I thought we all learned that mainstream isn't to be trusted. And have y'all never seen those clips where they show like 1,200 different news media outlets repeating exactly the same thing? Remember when COVID and they shared the screen and there's like 50 different channels all saying the same thing? Like, we don't give a fuck about no mainstream Republicans. Get the fuck out of here. So anyways, in the episode, Carlson claimed that Christians in Israel are far fewer in absolute numbers than when the state was founded in 1948. Uh-oh. Not Carlson wanted to get jiggy with their homeland. Oh boy. Okay, well, anyways, data from Israel's Central Bureau Statistics. We don't care about that data. We don't. Okay, so basically, boom, that's what happened. That was February, family. So in February, he takes himself, or I don't know if he was in Jordan in February, but he uploaded the interviews in February. Huckabee responds, says, bring your ass out here. Tucker flies out there. The news is now saying like, oh, well, he was just restricted to the airport. He just stayed confined within the airport. Well, was he even allowed to walk freely, or was he in danger if he walked freely? Did he have enough security to go out and talk to Christians that are on the streets? Was that even allotted to him? I don't know, because I didn't look further into it. So that's February. And now here we are in March, where Tucker is saying the CIA has basically pulled up his text messages, not his emails, not his this, not his that. Now let me go to my likes. I'm going to share the screen one more time. Oh, let me get to you. I'm sorry. Hold on. I see people in the chat. Hold on. It's policy violation to do a political commentary. However, it's policy for beef sector to attack children. Oh, is this when my stream was down? Oh no. Oh no. Right? You could be in the beef sector doing the most, or you could be True Freeman and put a poll talking about is so and so sexually attracted to their stepchild. But God forbid I play some Tucker Carlson, which is to be expected. It's not the first time. Okay, and Beef Faker says, so far, it seems like he's trying to sell us that a small group of Christians in a Muslim country have freedom to say whatever they want to an American reporter. I highly doubt it, but let's see. Beef Fakers, I'm really liking the way you think. I'm really liking the way you get down. It's occupied Palestine. There is no Israel. They got me for Tuck. That's okay. I'll see if Tuck has a Cash App that I can hit. No, I'm just kidding. It was only a couple seconds. Okay, cool. If my memory serves me correctly, the World Health Organization created the country Israel. I only recall because I read the documents some years ago when I was interested in how Israel came to be. The World Health Organization, not necessarily, but if I could be Fakers, even if you care, hold on. Okay, I got a notification. Even if you care, I would pick up a book called 100 Years. What is it? 100 Years War of Palestine. I would pick up there. And then I would also look into what happened in Russia. Was it 1908? There was a certain gentleman that created the Zionist movement. I would start there. But the World Health Organization developed through that gate. So, yeah, through that gate. I would definitely look up some stuff that popped off in Russia around 1908. But no, if we're both wrong, we're both wrong. Let's correct each other and learn. Because I don't know. Okay, so one more thing. I want to share one more, family. Let me share my screen one more time. Let me share this because I want to talk about some of the, let me go to my profile. This is what's being said. Okay. We're going to get to some of this stuff. And I guess maybe I might be in trouble if I play more Tucker Carlson stuff. I'll just have to keep an eye on my stream. Let me come over and pull it up over here on my phone. Let me come in and pull it up over my phone. Yeah, I would look up the book 100 Years War of Palestine. I think that's the name of it. I have it in my closet. 100 Years War. And then I would look up the beginning of the Zionist movement, and I would look up the Jews in Russia. Okay. There's a reason, because the Ottoman Empire was getting jiggy. Listen, the Assyrians came and kicked out. If you really want to get down to it, I could go on and on for days. Let me not. I've been smoking. I get sidetracked easy. Let me not go there. But if you want to know more, go back to that part. Just start at the 1908 and then work forward. And then once you get that together, you can go further back than that. Because these people they're known. Hebrews are known for keeping records. Are they faulty records? Of course, in some areas they are. However, if you're smart, you don't just have to go by the Hebrews timeline. There's other shit that was popping up. The Ottoman Empire kept records. The Assyrians have some old records. Look them up. I mean, you can really get deep into it. So yeah, the WHO Foundation is not what built what we're calling the state of Israel right now, but they do play a big role. So good for you. Okay, but back to sharing my screen, family. Hold on. Let me play this first, because this is Tucker Carlson with what's his name? Nick, I guess. That one guy, Nick, that everybody's like, oh my gosh.
So
he's an extremist. Let me share my screen. Okay. Listen to Tucker tell us how he's one of the most powerful people with the ability to change America's foreign policy. Listen, we have a lot of senators, we have a lot of governors, we have a lot of mayors, we have a lot of city council members, we have a lot of judges who feel the same freaking way. So let's not harp on Tucker Carlson too much, but let's listen to what he says and how he feels about himself. And before he felt the pressure of the CIA, let's see how he speaks freely to Nick Fuentes.
And so I look at the landscape now, and the people I see as, I'll narrow it down to foreign policy. Okay. Who is effectively opposing neoconservative foreign policy, which has been the dominant foreign policy of the United States for my entire life, which has been so destructive, I think, and I've seen it. Who are the voices who are sincere in their opposition to that and who have some ability to change the country's orientation on foreign policy? And those would include Marjorie Taylor Greene, J.D. Vance, Matt Gaetz, me. And so I look at.
So you see how he lists politicians, though. He's like, politicians. And then he kind of shrugs and he's like, me. I guess so. But you know who else felt that way? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk also felt that he could, I won't say change people's minds, but just educate them. Let's use the correct terminology, family. I really feel like people make better decisions when they're informed decisions. And that's what's lacking right now. People are not educated. They are not informed. They don't take the time. I'm guilty of that my damn self. There's times where I take surface shit and I run with it. But I've learned in my calming years, my older years, like, let me really tweak and geek on this and get jiggy with it. Also, I wanted to show, oh goodness, I want to show Laura Loomer. You guys, this is how dedicated, this isn't really Tucker Carlson related, but Laura Loomer's getting jiggy, blah, 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 blah. Don't mind the filter on her face. Somebody added the filter to her face. But I want you to hear her words, family. These people are sick. And I'm talking about people who are loyalist. People who are loyalists. This was crazy to hear.
What's
so often, right? WhatsApp, no.
What's
so often, right? Sometimes I go to DC and I have meetings with him at the White House. Occasionally I speak to him on the phone. Just depends. But I speak to the president quite often.
Speed dial, WhatsApp, messages?
No WhatsApp, no.
What's the conversation like with the president, and especially at this time when there's a war that's on?
Well, look, I consider myself to be a Trump loyalist. And one of the things that makes our friendship and our relationship so unique is that I feel that the president can trust me to always give him advice on who's being loyal and who's being disloyal. And I spend a lot of time as an investigative reporter doing research into people who work in the administration who may be undermining his agenda or undermining the America First agenda. And we talk about a lot of different things, but anytime I speak to the president, it's constructive. I'm giving him information that is going to be beneficial to him, helping him identify bad actors.
Laura Loomer, what kind of information does your goofy ass have to give to our fucking president, you fucking Mossad agent bitch? You're a weirdo. Hold on, let her finish, because she's about to say, and I snitch all the time.
Helping him identify bad actors in the country, bad actors in his administration, informing him of people who are bad-mouthing him, and also making him aware of issues pertinent to the base.
This is Laura Loomer, family. This lady is, she's ridiculous. She is something else. But that is what, look at Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un, he want to be a part of the war so bad, family. He really do. And I'm glad he's not. I'm glad we still have eyes on him. Let's just say that. I'm still glad that he's putting out propaganda videos so we know what's going on over there. Because we don't need him included in nothing. But right here in this video, he's showing his daughter the new missiles and stuff. He's showing her how to become the next dictator. Anyways, moving right along. Hold on. Let me get with y'all in the chat real quick. Yes, the Belfort Act. I don't think it's spelled correct, but that's okay. The Belfort Act. I think it's the Belfort Act, or is it Belfort? I'm not sure. Yes, 94, 98, but it goes beyond that. It just gets deeper than that, family. And do your own research so that way my opinions don't rub off on you. I'm not here to put my opinions on y'all. This is how I feel. He is. This nigga tripping, bro. Oh my gosh, but if you had your own dictatorship, wouldn't you be showing your kids too? Like, look, we're dictators. This is what we do. Yeah, Prometheus is wild. Laura Loomer is a loyals, but that's what the Heritage Foundation was saying in Project 2025. That's what they were saying, family. They were saying to pack the house with loyalists. They didn't care if they were Republican or Democrat. I don't know why I get so worked up over this. I'm sorry, my bad. Yes, he's a wild card. Okay, but back to this. Back to Tucker Carlson. Okay. So that was his own words. This is what was heard. Okay, this is from just a could be. This is allegedly. This is a possibility. Okay. They say here's what appears to be happening with Tucker Carlson. Okay. Tucker Carlson has allegedly been conducting. Now we're getting back to the treason, family. Is Tucker guilty of treason? This is what could be allegedly the possibility. Tucker Carlson has allegedly been conducting his own foreign policy with Iran on behalf of the United States. We just watched a video, family, where Tucker says, me, J.D. Vance, Marjorie Taylor Greene, what do you say, Grants? What's his name? Blah, blah, blah. He listed off some politicians and he included himself. So is Tucker Carlson allegedly conducting his own foreign policy with Iran on behalf of the United States? That sounds crazy and far-fetched, but Tucker, like I said, we went through January at White House, February over there in Israel, and in March, family, here we are with Iran, where supposedly Tucker's been in conversations with some of the Kafifi, I don't know how to pronounce their name, with some of the people, and sure enough, they end up getting shot down, gunned down, whoop, whoop. At number two, at some point, the CIA got wind of this and informed President Trump, who may then have used Tucker as an unwitting counterintelligence asset to feed faulty information to Iran. Number three, following the launch of Epic Fury, because this started March 1st, family. The war started March 1st. Epic Fury, Tucker's traitorous behavior may have finally caught up with him as DOJ reportedly prepares a criminal complaint against him based on CIA intelligence. And then it goes on for bonus round. After the operation began, Iran sent IRGC agents to carry out attacks in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, but those plots were foiled. Iran possibly then told Tucker these were acts of Mossad plots, a claim that pushed online and spread like wildfire. Possibly Saudi and Qatar had to publicly deny Tucker's fake news about the Mossad. There are two videos listed here. One we've already seen, I believe.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is...
Yes, we've already seen, but I won't be playing them because I get shut down if I play them. So, yes. And let me go over here to Candace because Candace was getting jiggy last night, family. And y'all feel free to follow me on Twitter. I don't do much on Twitter. And ever since I've kind of started getting jiggy, I lost like 16 followers. But I heard they were bot accounts because ever since we've been at war, the bot accounts of Twitter have really calmed down. And they're claiming that they were Israel type thing. So this is what Candace is getting jiggy right now. She says, if they come for Tucker, we ride at dawn. Really nothing else to say here. We're not doing the Golgags 2.0 with these Bolshevik descendants. I'll leave that there, and you guys can go look up Candace on your own and get jiggy. Hold on, though. Beat fakers. Yes. Why did it just click in your mind that Tucker is worried about getting Charlie Kirk? Come on now, beat faker. Hello. And not even Charlie Kirk. It's almost like that example wasn't enough. They're going to find new tactics. They're going to find new tactics, family. The Charlie Kirk situation did not scare people the way they thought it would. People are not following behind. I mean, I look at Erica. People are just, it didn't turn out the way I think they anticipated. Instead of us rallying around Erica Kirk and becoming this one big cult with her and saying, yay, America, turning point, yay, and we support Israel. We actually have minds of our own. Some of us have parents that put us on game. Some of us have immigrant parents that put us on game. Some of us have ancestors that know where they came from and put them on game. Okay, that's what quote unquote really made America great. I love when we go to the Olympics and things like that. The girl from the Bay, Alyssa Lau, I love that she's an IVF baby, but her daddy came from China. He was, ran away from China because he was trying to fight communism, came over here. He became a lawyer, whoop, whoop, put his child through ice skate. She over here winning the gold. I love that. To me is America. That right there is America. Okay. And she was turning up in the Bay. Shout out to all the Olympians. I love the Olympics. I really do. That's your ass, Mr. Postman. They're going to get me. Okay. That is the problem. Because so many people have disdain for the president. We can't get any good employees in there. That is an unfortunate mistake we are all making in this situation. Not only that, he stacked the House with loyalists. People, I hate that I have to go against things that I don't like to go against, but listen, Hitler did the same thing too, family. Hitler did the same thing. He didn't pack the house with democracy. He packed the house with loyalists. And I think a certain group took note of that and said, oh, when your enemy defeats you, you take note of that. Okay. And you say, oh, that was actually a really good trick. Actually, we don't need democracy. We need loyalists. So let's pack the house with loyalists. So all they did was just flip the script and did it to us. And now we have a house filled with loyalists. They are not Republican. They are not Democrat. They are none of those things. We have been infiltrated. And that's just how I see this. And them coming after Tucker Carlson. I mean, what do we have left, family, when it comes to getting our news? What do we have left? What sources do we have left to trust? And I'm not saying we should be trusting Tucker. We shouldn't. No, you should have multiple sources. And it's like, it's getting harder and harder to, we're supposedly at war. And this is the least televised war that I've ever experienced. And I'm an 83 baby. So I remember Desert Storm because my dad served in it. I recall some issues going on with Bush, Obama, and it was televised. You could turn on any TV, and I'm not saying you can't turn on the TV now, but it's very controlled. It's not like it used to be. Back then, it would be like, oh, hold on, we got incoming stuff. No, I turn on whatever news, and it's like, oh, we're not allowed to turn our cameras here because Israel said we can't turn our cameras this way. Yeah, who is we? Who is we? I watch Al Jazeera too. I just told my son about that. I said, I've had to turn to Al Jazeera. I've turned to Reddit to watch, Chinese controlled media. Chinese controlled media actually has some decent stuff out there. If you're on Red Note and you get into like politics over there, that you can get some pretty good informed stuff. Like China's keeping tabs on what America's doing and what Israel has going on, and yeah. I won't say too much. We need all of our best people working in that White House. It's unfortunate that they are allowed to pack the house with loyalists. Maybe that's why we should focus on change. We should focus on America first. But if we aren't allowed to have simple journalists like Tucker Carlson, and I heard that Tucker might be running for president in 2028. These are just rumors. But guess what else I heard? That Stephen A. Smith might be running as well. So, and if they are, so what? But when you pack the house with loyalists, they're not going to let us win fair. They're not. They're bringing back, this is treason. Against who? How is this? How has what we've seen today any type of act of treason against America? And I'm sure there's some things we haven't seen, but if getting to the truth is now a treasonous act, then maybe you might as well call this occupied America. Okay? If we can call Palestine occupied, then we can call America occupied. Okay? No longer infiltrated, straight up occupied. Also, one of the most important things we need is term limits in Congress. Yes, the ones that have been there for over 30 years are a big problem on both sides. Yes, 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 yes. Congress and Senate is more important than executive branch. It is. And we got to get niggas like fucking Ted Cruz the fuck out of there. I don't know what was going on in Texas. I don't know. I am so confused. I am so confused by Texas right now. Yes, we are conservative and we love being conservative, but we also know there's some fuck shit going on and y'all holding us under. It's insane. No, we don't pay state taxes here, so thank the Lord. But if they keep squeezing out of federal, that's our next go-to, I guess. This isn't new revelation. I starred these two. These are the stars of the show. This isn't new. This isn't a new revelation to the American people. It is, though. There's a new generation that is not educated on this. Their U.S. history did not tell them about the occupation of 1948. It says, hey, Nazis were bad, Jews were victims, and they were the only victims. They don't tell you, oh yeah, Jews were only like 2% of the people slaughtered during Hitler's reign. They don't tell that part. So yeah, unfortunately, to some people, it is new. There's, you know what I mean? How is a 17-year-old person? Imagine being 14 years old and this shit going on. How are you to know? How are you to know? And in 6 years, in 20, what is that, 32? Holy fuck. 6 years, it's going to be 2032? Whoa, that's creepy. I'm not good at math, but whoa, that's crazy. All right, yeah, let me get up out of here. Yeah, so imagine being young and all this shit popping off. It's occupied Palestine. It is now occupied America as well. In 6 years, it's going to be 2032. That sounds so futuristic. Wow. That just blew my wig. All right, let me get out of here. Thank you, beef fakers. I don't know who you are, but thank you for coming through. You had some good conversation pieces as well. I don't have an outro, but I do have this, and I found it so funny. So we're going to end off with this. Thank y'all for coming through. Please hit the down like. I'm sure I'm going to have to come and chop my live up. Hopefully I can keep it up and just kind of edit it, but I might have to take it down. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let me share my screen and let me get the up out of here.
I know, True. I apologize, True. I just want to say I apologize. You ain't got to apologize. Night Stalker, stop apologizing. I know. I understand. I understand. I'm just sorry. Stop apologizing. I'm sorry. You still apologize.